Let's get right into it. If you told Patriots fans 2 years ago that Drake Maye would be an MVP runner-up and New England would be playing in Super Bowl 60, they would have laughed you right out of Gillette Stadium. But that's exactly what happened. Mike Vrabel comes in, completely flips the script, goes 14-3 in the regular season, and takes a roster that was stuck in a post-Brady hangover all the way to the big dance. Sure, they fell short to the Seahawks, but it was easily one of the greatest one-year turnarounds in NFL history. But here's the thing about Cinderella stories. Eventually, the clock strikes midnight. The honeymoon phase in Foxborough? Yeah, that's officially over. The Patriots enter 2026 not as the cute underdogs sneaking up on people, but as the hunted. The target is on their back, the schedule is a nightmare, and the off-field drama is straight out of a reality TV show. Today, we're breaking down exactly what the Patriots need to do to survive 2026. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the offense, because the front office did not sit on its hands. New England traded away Stephon Diggs, which definitely raised some eyebrows in the preseason, but they immediately turned around and acquired A.J. Brown from Philly and signed Romeo Doubs to a massive 4-year deal. With Maye entering his second year, this receiving corps is downright terrifying. A.J. Brown is basically a cheat code in the red zone, and Doubs brings that reliable route running. Maye is going to be cooking. But none of that matters if Maye is running for his life. Guys, we need to talk about the playoffs last year. Drake Maye was sacked 21 times in the postseason. That is an all-time NFL record for a single playoff run. That's not just playing football, that is survival. He was getting absolutely walloped, and it completely stalled out their Super Bowl offense. So what did the Pats do? They're sticking with former first-rounder Will Campbell at left tackle, but they aggressively fortified the inside. They dropped $42 million on Elijah Vera Tucker to anchor the left guard spot and drafted Caleb Lolu in the first round. The mandate from Vrabel is crystal clear. Keep the franchise QB upright. If this line gels, the Patriots' offense is top 5 in the league. If they don't, we're going to see Maye running for his life all over again. Now let's address the biggest knock on the Patriots from last year, the schedule. People were saying, yeah, they went 14-3, but they had the easiest schedule since the '99 Rams. They played nobodies. Well, the NFL schedule makers heard you, and they basically said, bet. The Patriots have the hardest first 4 weeks of football we have seen in 40 years. I'm talking 1986 Eagles level of brutal. Their first 4 opponents had a combined win percentage of over 720 last season. And to make it worse, 3 of those first 4 games are on the road against division winners. Imagine opening the season, getting on a plane, and playing 3 playoff-caliber teams back to back to back. The travel alone is exhausting. If New England starts this season 1-4 or 2-2, the national media is going to write them off as a one-year wonder. They have to weather this absolute gauntlet just to get to October. And when they get to October, they better hope their defense can get to the quarterback, because the edge rush is a massive question mark right now. New England lost a ton of pop off the edge this offseason. Kayvon Chason, who was second on the team in sacks, cashed out and went to Washington. Anthony Jennings went to the Saints, and Harold Landry, their absolute best pass rusher, is starting camp on the PUP list, dealing with a knee injury. If Vrabel and the defensive staff can't generate pressure with just 4 linemen, that secondary is going to get exposed deep down the field. But look, football is only half the battle in Foxborough. You cannot preview this 2026 team without talking about the tabloids. Mike Vrabel had an incredibly weird, tumultuous offseason. He was photographed at a resort in Sedona with NFL reporter Deanna Rossini. We're talking hot tub photos, holding hands on a roof deck, a full-blown extramarital scandal. Vrabel initially held his ground, calling the photos laughable and completely innocent. But the evidence kept piling up, and he eventually had to hold a press conference, admit to the situation, and step away from the team during the NFL draft to seek counseling. Look, in NFL, locker room culture is everything. For 2 decades, the Patriot way was about being stoic, boring, and completely blocking out the noise. Bill Belichick never had TMZ camped outside his facility. When the head coach is dodging tabloid questions, it creates a weird vibe. It's a massive test of Vrabel's leadership to keep this locker room focused on football. So, what's the bottom line for the 2026 Patriots? The ceiling is still a Super Bowl. The talent is absolutely there. Maye is a bona fide star, A.J. Brown is a matchup nightmare, and Vrabel has proven he knows how to win big games. But the floor is missing the playoffs because the schedule is a meat grinder. The edge rush is thin, and the off-field drama becomes a distraction. They aren't sneaking up on anybody this year. Every single team is going to give them their absolute best shot. Can Drake Maye and Mike Vrabel handle the heat? We're about to find out. Let me know in the comments, how many games do the Pats win this year? Do they make it back to the Super Bowl? Drop your predictions down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and subscribe for more NFL previews. Catch you in the next one.